Of Q broadcast, it's taking the world by storm. People are cutting the cord to their high cable bills and moving away from streaming services like Netflix, Hulu, and others for something better. Q broadcast. For just $60 a month, you'll get access to every channel you could ever want, including HBO, Cinemax, and Stars. And the best part, there are no contracts, no hidden fees, and you're free to cancel anytime. With Q Broadcast, you can enjoy streaming live TV, movies, and top series on up to 5 devices at once. Whether you're at home or on the go, Q Broadcast makes sure your entertainment is always at your fingertips. Imagine being able to watch all your favorite channels from anywhere, anytime, without any restrictions. We're talking about thousands of movies, hundreds of TV series, and a huge library of live channels, all in one place. And don't forget video on demand and pay-per-view events. Those are included at no extra cost, so you'll never miss a big event again. Now, take a second and think about your current cable bill. You're probably paying anywhere between $100 and $300 every month, locked into long-term contracts and hit with surprise rate increases. With Q Broadcast, that's a thing of the past. It's just $60 a month. No contracts, no extra fees, no hidden costs, and no price hikes. Why juggle multiple subscriptions like Netflix, Hulu, and cable when Q Broadcast gives you everything you need in one convenient package? People everywhere are switching to Q Broadcast, saving money and getting more content than ever before. So, what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description and sign up for Q Broadcast today. Just $60 a month, no contracts, no hidden fees. It's time to take control of your entertainment and start streaming smarter.
We live in a world where men are told it's harmless. It's just entertainment. But let's stop lying to ourselves. Pornography destroys. It weakens your spirit. It dulls your drive. And it robs you of what real intimacy is supposed to be. Every click is a step away from the man you're supposed to be. We can't call ourselves leaders if we are slaves to a screen.
As someone that is prior service, I know all about discipline. And discipline isn't out there, it's within your mind. Porn rewires your brain, weakens your will, wrecks all of your relationships. It doesn't just stay on a screen, it invades your marriage, your confidence, and your actual purpose. As men, if we don't learn to discipline ourselves, we'll be ruled by our impulses. Now, it is time to stand up and take control before this silent war takes more than you're willing to lose.
Real men don't hide in the shadows of shame. We step up and we protect what's ours. We fight for our wives and kids, our own hearts. Twitter isn't just an app, it's a weapon. It's a tool used to break free and start living like the man that you're meant to be. The battle's here and it starts with you. You can stop living in shame and you can break free today.
Here at the andAmerica age, we know that these times of uncertainty are stressful. It is incumbent upon all of us to put our fears first and bow down to government tyranny. Gone are the days of freely leaving your home, working, and social interactions. In exchange for safety, we will trade liberty. At the andAmerica age, we understand. However, just in case you want to get off your knees and stop being a sniveling coward, check out the John Age Project at andAmericaage.com.
Meet Ann Morrissey, who is here with her daughter, Dareth. Dareth is 17 years old. Mrs. Morrissey, I don't have to tell you that most parents would be extremely depressed if their daughter came home one day looking like this. I assume that was your response. Shock, anger, depression? What was it?
I was extremely angry. I really went bananas.
Yeah, how old was she when this happened?
Possibly 13, 14 years old.
We're talking like it's a disease, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah. How did she explain it to you, Mrs. Morris?
there was very poor communication until we went into counseling. And it almost broke up our family. But through counseling and Serena, I can understand it better.
What do you understand?
That she feels like she doesn't want to be like everyone else, and she wants to be her own person. And through the dress code and her lifestyle, she's expressing this. It doesn't conform with our rules, but we're learning to cope, and it's a very, very difficult thing. Extremely difficult.
Dareth, let's let you talk for yourself. You're from Long Beach, California.
I just can't handle being like everybody else because that's what everybody else wants, you know. Just because somebody else does something does not mean that I have to do it. You know, I have my own morals and ideals, and I go by them.
Are you drug-free, Dareth?
Yes, I am.
Is this a political statement then? Do you have some misgiving about the society that you see?
Yeah, there's a lot of problems, you know. A lot of the people are really aware of what's going on, you know, and I don't like it, you know. There's a lot of problems. I don't like the way society is based.
What bothers you? Give us some of the misgivings you have.
The rich, the poor, the people starving, the wars, you know. Why can't, you know, everybody just get along and just live their life?
Selling real and Chevy.
Propagating truth in a world of lies. You are listening to the John Age Project.
Trust no one. Trust no one. Trust no one.
You found it. You're here. You're headlong down the runaway train that is the Anomic Age, and I am your host, John Age, coming at you in the wee hours of the AM. I will definitely be taking you well into the dark side of the AM this evening, folks. So thanks for tuning in. Please check out andAmerica.com if you've not already done so. Please like all the likes, subscribe to all the subscriptions, paypal.me/anomicage, patreon.com/anomicage as well. That's the best place you can go to help me to find all things Anomic Age. We got the Cash App, the Buy Me a Cup of Coffee, the Patreon, the Lightning link, and all that and so much more. Right there at andAmerica.com. So please consider becoming a patron. Don't say that enough around here, but your contributions definitely help. So please do consider becoming a patron, or you can just make it a one-time donation. Stop anytime you want. Free iPhone app, free newsletter, free Android app, subscribe by email. It's all there at andAmerica.com. It's hard to believe we're actually all the way up to, let me see, I've almost forgot. Episode 506. Goodness, I almost couldn't believe it my darn self. Episode 506 here in the Anomic Age. Information, breakdown, segments, variety. Usually don't do a show on the weekends. Usually don't do a show sort of on the off days, but I had to record one today. Man, we got the crazy of all crazies, don't we? We got the your military industrial complex. That's exactly what we are dealing with today, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humans of all ages, those of you who still identify
as human. We got episode 506, Maduro, Israel, and America's war machine for conquest. My goodness, it's disgusting out there, really, folks. There's a lot of different ways you can label, repackage, or possibly even repurpose the mess that's been going on. So we've been pirating a couple of Venezuela's oil tankers a couple weeks ago. Then we started doing strikes on Venezuela, I do believe, just before the new year. And then just, I don't even know, not even 24 hours ago now. Excuse me. Not even 24 hours ago now, we have kidnapped their president, Maduro. We've taken Maduro hostage, basically. We've gone in and kidnapped him. He's allegedly in the same club fed as Diddy. Hope it ain't no Diddy party going on up in there. I don't think Maduro's into that sort of thing. So this is all allegedly under the guise that that Venezuela is this huge provider of drugs, and also under the guise of, oh, goodness gracious, he's a communist dictator. How the bleep is that any different than China, folks? It's not. So even though Mexico is really giving the U.S. 99% rough estimate of their drug supply, which is obviously really just coming from China in the first place, that's the big fentanyl. I guess you could call it the new golden triangle. So China's giving it to Mexico. Mexico's importing it north of the border into Los Estados Unidos. But we're attacking Venezuela. Well, that makes perfect sense, doesn't it? I got to show you. I don't even know where to begin. We'll throw up this one for right now, and we'll go over it a little bit even. So, how to qualify for Team America, the puppet show. Let's take a gander at some of these lovely individuals, because we've already got Maria Machado waiting in the wings to take over. But here's the real deal, Holyfield. Here's some problems. You got Dulce, D-E-L, Dulce, C-Y. I believe that's her name. If not, apologies. Lo siento. Dulce Rodriguez. She's the actual VP. She hasn't been kidnapped. So allegedly Maduro's wife is deceased. Maduro's been kidnapped. He's in a club fed with Diddy. The actual VP of Venezuela, Rodriguez, she's a female. She's going, yo, I'm not down with this. We're not going to stand down and allow this regime change. She's calling this exactly what it is. She's actually saying this is a Zionist coup. We're not going down without a fight. We got the Venezuela military saying we're not stepping down without a fight either. They're definitely circling the wagons there. And this just gives you a little rundown. We got Maria Machado. She's definitely a wall kisser. She's all up the backside of Israel. And let's just take a look at some of these other folks that we got on the screen there. We got Syrian leader there. We got the Iran leader there. And we got the Mexico leader there too. Sheinbaum, another Israel first Israeli Jewish female in charge. I don't know how they didn't get a female leader in Syria and Iran. I don't know. They're attempting a regime change in Iran right about now, too, in case you hadn't figured that one out. And this is all just smoke and mirrors. This is all just gaslighting par excellence, because people were getting a little bit too close to the truth, I guess, with the invasion of Minnesota by the Muslims. And most importantly, we got balls and the Muslim cartels up there running all kinds of NGO fraud, all kinds of fake daycares just in abandoned buildings and parking lots and so forth. The usual suspect garbage that you would expect from the communist low-class bottom feeder, floor-flushing trash. And then everybody was abuzz for not even 24 hours, maybe like 20 hours, was abuzz saying, oh, it's even worse in California. Well, duh. Like the only difference is it's not controlled by Muslims in California. That's the only difference. You got a puppet governor who's a communist boob. You've got an influx of illegals, and you've got the same bleeped up system. So instead of Ilhan Omar, you've got whatever that drunk broad was that's finally stepping down after like 50 plus years in politics. Yeah, Nancy Pelosi. We finally got Barbara Boxer out there a couple years ago, and we've still got Crypt Keeper Pelosi hanging on. Anyway, we got so much more to roll through. Here's Maduro in his own words. And this might surprise some of you because let me see. Well, I'll give you kind of the two faces of Maduro. Here's Maduro a few years ago. Here's Maduro claiming that he's actually Jewish origin as well. Yeah, this is Maduro from many years ago, actually. Venezuelan president. My grandparents were Jewish. Nicolas Maduro denying his government, is anti-Semitic. Said his grandparents were Sephardic Jews. Well, heavens to Murgatroyd. So we had Maduro saying this, and he also got Maduro saying that. Let me see if I can give you a little cliff notes for you. Those Jews of the 12 tribes who are not in charge today in the state of Israel, those who rule Netanyahu today are not authentic Jews. I'm just reading it for you, folks. He is a calabash who comes from Poland. For those who like to talk about religion and say that this is a religious conflict, no, this is not a religious conflict. The conflict that exists since the foundation of the state of Israel is a geopolitical conflict. Because the state was created to conquer all of the Middle East and Central Asia and to take away its riches. And these peoples is the Zionist project, who say they're going from the River Jordan to the Euphrates and beyond. All right, I'm going to stop it there because I think you get a rundown. I'm translating and reading for you at the same time. So that is also Nicolas Maduro. So he's basically saying, yo, his grandparents were Sephardic Jews, but he also knows the score. He knows the deal. He knows the whole state of Israel is a sham. He knows the people there are not Semitic. And he even lays out with old BB from Poland. And this is funny. I didn't bring this up, but or I didn't pull this up, excuse me. But we did have Maduro on his, I guess it would be kind of his New Year's Eve broadcast or whatever. I don't know if it was a broadcast or if he was just sort of getting on camera and speaking a little bit, not a formal broadcast. But he was saying he is a definite Christian and he was putting his faith in Jesus. So, I mean, I'm just throwing more, what in the, more oddities of oddities that we can throw on the fire here. Then we got Trump from, ironically enough, from Greensboro, North Carolina. But this is when he was, I believe, on the campaign trail for his last regime's tour here. But let's just take a listen. I remember hearing this. I wasn't there, but hearing it live time, I was watching it at the time. And I just went, that's a little piece of information to put in our pocket, isn't it? Let's listen.
How about we're buying oil from Venezuela? When I left, Venezuela was ready to collapse. We would have taken it over. We would have gotten all that oil. It would have been right next door.
Oh, it would have been great.
But now we're buying oil from Venezuela, so we're making a dictator very rich. Can you believe this? Nobody can believe it. You know where the oil, their oil is garbage. It's horrible. The worst you can get, tar. It's like tar. And to refine it, you need special plants. And these people, how about...
Okay, so that was him on the campaign trail. And let's pull up another one. This is Laura Richardson, another female in big office here. She's the Southern Command Chief, and she's going to give you a little bit more information about Venezuela. Isn't this strange?
Of course, the countries, Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua with Russia relationships. Why this region matters with all of its rich resources and rare earth elements. You've got the lithium triangle, which is needed for technology today. 60% of the world's lithium is in the lithium triangle, Argentina, Bolivia, Chile. You just have the largest oil reserves, light sweet crude, discovered off of Guyana over a year ago. You have Venezuela's resources as well with oil, copper, gold. We have the Amazon, lungs of the world. We have the 31% of the world's fresh water in this region too. I mean, it's just off the charts. We have a lot to do. This region matters. It has a lot to do with national security, and we need to step up our game.
So that's the deal, folks. That's the realness. And this is on the heels of Bibi coming for the 5th time in a year. Somebody checked me that on the other show, and he did visit Biden more than 5 times in the 4 years he was in office, but definitely not 5 times in 1 year. So there you go. Good job fact checking. So Bibi just left, and ironically enough, Bibi leaves. Iran goes to Pluy, and we kidnap Maduro and invade Venezuela full scale. That's pretty ironic, isn't it? So some other oddities that you just heard from Richardson there was the talk of the oil, which is kind of self-evident. And we've already had the folks in the Middle East saying, yo, if the U.S. floods the market with their oil, we're going to pull back our reserves and raise prices. Huh, that's nice. So we got Richardson talking about the water, the lithium, and the oil. Another big thing coming out of there is silver. In case you haven't looked at the markets lately, silver's through the roof. I think the other day I looked and it was up to like $70 for 1 ounce of silver. And yeah, they got a lot of silver there too. One thing we don't actually have a lot of in real supply in the United States is silver. Yeah, you might want to look into that because our actual tangible hold it in your hand supply of silver, not so much. What else we got? All right, this is the woman. This is old Kissawall. I'm just going to put this on the screen too, that they are dying to put in there. Nobel Peace Laureate Machado pledges support for Israel. Oh my goodness, I'm so shocked. That's unbelievable, isn't it? Here's old Kissy Kiss on the wall. Yeah, that's her again. So that's who they actually want to put in power. But we got the female VP Rodriguez saying not so fast. They're already circling the wagons with the military. And here's another, oh darn. You've also got China, North Korea, and Russia all throwing their hat in the ring, condemning what went down in Venezuela. And you basically got, I mean, I should have wrote all these down. You had Spain coming out condemning what went down, saying they're putting their money behind Venezuela. You had Chile. Oh goodness, I'm blanking on some of this. I think it's Venezuela also. Mexico's condemning this. So you've got some big superpowers in the works as far as China and Russia coming out and saying, yeah, you need to back off. And you got Kim Jong-un or whatever he's there in North Korea talking about, I'm backing my boys in Venezuela there. So this is looking terrible, folks. I can't say it or put it any other way. You've got the cult members that are just going to support everything and anything that dear old Chairman Trump pulls, no matter what. But this is looking just ghastly. And I forgot to throw this out there. While this is all going on, while we're seemingly on the precipice of a World War IV, because we already know 3 was the Cold War, or if you want to count 3 as just this endless, string of wars since Vietnam, where we've doing these non-military actions, humanitarian efforts all over the flipping globe. Oh, and by the way, Trump's in some great company. He's the only president to bomb 8 countries in 1 year. Yeah, that's your peace president. That's the president that ran on stopping all wars and peace. No wars have been stopped. The joke peace treaty that was between Israel and Palestine, joke. The joke, we're going to put an end to the Ukraine-Russian war, joke. You can't put an end to these wars when you continue to fund them. Does that make sense to anyone out there at all? So we continue to fund the Ukraine and wonder why the war hasn't stopped. We continue to fund Israel and wonder why the peace hasn't taken. This is downright comedic, folks. It's comedic. And again, while all this is going on, while we're at the precipice of World War IV, you've got Trump out there bloviating, bombastically throwing out there that, next, we're going to go into Cuba, perhaps. Next, I got my sights on Mexico, perhaps. He already said this today. Those are the next 2 countries that he's looking into. These are other free nations. I don't give a rat's backside if they're communist, socialist, or fruit bat. I don't care. They're not our problem. You know what is our problem? Funding other countries. You know what is our problem? Well, let's see. Let's put this on the screen because it's so emblematic of what's actually going on. By the numbers, folks, this is our problem. This is our problem. Yeah. This. Russian collusion hoax, no arrest. January 6th, no arrest. Mar-a-Lago raid, nothing. Biden out of pin, 0. 2020 election stolen, not a thing. Epstein client list, no way. COVID hoax, not a chance. Benghazi, nothing going on. Dodge findings, 0 has been done. Ukraine impeachment hoax, 0 has been done. How about Comey? 0 has been done. You just keep rolling these out, huh? Nothing's happened. Any of these things. Anthony Witter laptop, nothing has been done. Barry Soetoro, Big Mike, nothing has been done. Hills and Bill, 0. Not a thing. So it seems that we can go to other countries' sovereign territory, blow up their mess, kidnap their leader, run away to America. And by the way, this guy, Maduro, is in jail in America. He's in the same club fed with Diddy. Does that make any sense to anyone? What the bleep is going on? So we can kidnap a guy from his own country, but we can't do jack diddly dog about the political upper class that I guess is above all laws, like the most Teflon Dons you've ever seen. Nothing can be done with these predators. Nothing can be stopped with the child trafficking. Nothing can be done with the Epstein client list. Anthony Weiner laptop, nothing. Everything I just rattled off for you and then some. Nothing. Nothing. So we can go to another country, kidnap their leader, and do all this jive turkey mess. Can't do jack diddly squat here in America. I mean, our infrastructure is a blipping joke. Everything's a joke, folks. The roads are bleeped up, the dams, the levees, the waterways, the bridges, all bleeped up. Our blipping rail system looks like something you would see in a blipping period piece from the 1900s, the early 1900s is what it looks like. I mean, Christ's sakes, if you were doing an old movie right now, you wouldn't have to change bleep. If you were shooting on the railroad system, forget about it. You don't need to change anything. It looks the same as it did 100 years ago. It's a joke, folks. It's a joke. Other countries have state-of-the-art rail systems, bullet trains, and we have what? Something you would expect to see in Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn. That's really what we got going on. It's a joke. I guess the only thing we're not seeing is the big super cheap steam engines from that era. That's about the only thing we're not seeing. This is really what's going on. Let's take a look at, we got more because it's so absurd. Let's put this on the board. AlJazeera.com. The U.S. has bombed 7 countries in 2025. I swear, I think it's 8. I got to look this up. I swear it's 8. While you're taking a look at that, I'm going to try to restore everything that I just had up, but I swear to you it's 8, man. I had this pulled up, and I'm pretty sure. Iran, Iraq, Nigeria, Palestine, Somalia, Syria, Venezuela, and Yemen. Are we missing one up there? I have to be. Iran, Iraq, Nigeria. Yeah, Nigeria is not up there. And neither is Palestine. It's really unreal, folks. It's really unreal. So, I mean, that's really what we got going on is a whole lot of nothing. As far as in this country, a whole lot of nothing. Any other sovereign nation, forget about it. We'll show up and play global policeman. We'll show up and do a humanitarian effort. We'll show up and spread some democracy. I mean, this is laugh upon just laughable joke, really, is what this is. It'd be a laughable joke if people wouldn't have actually died in this whole thing, you know? And I saw this BS. Oh, it's only 40 people died. Only 40 people? Is that all? I don't give a rat's butt if it was one person. Any person dying in this nonsense is too many. Every time I've heard this bull jive about regime change. We need a regime change in Iraq, a regime change in Iran, a regime change. What the bleep is wrong with this place, man? What do the moronic imbeciles in this country think they are? It's just beyond the pale, man. What the hell gives us the right as the United States to just arbitrarily show up in your country, bomb the bleep out of it, take its leader out, and then put in our puppet president? I mean, we've been doing this for a long time. So it's not surprising, but it's just like, how much is enough, folks? The Smedley Butler book, War is a Racket, exposed this, I do believe, over 100 years ago. Smedley Butler, the guy they tried to get to take out, tried to take out Roosevelt, and he wouldn't go along with the gag. And he finally came out and said, yo, I'm not going to be the mercenary for the fruit companies, because they had the United States go in and take out these different regimes and these different companies in Central and South America under the guise of the American Fruit Company. And finally, Butler was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not taking out the president of the United States. I'm no longer going to be a mercenary for the Central American now puppet governments that we put in so we can control the fruit industry in Central and South America. Not doing it. Let's see when that book was put out, because I can't remember when that was published. 1935, almost 100 years ago. Yep. That's unbelievable. Yeah, Central American republics. Yep. And that was the deal, folks. It was the same bull jive back then. Same bull jive. Same bull jive, folks. So here we are, 2026, year of our Lord, and we're still doing the same bull jive that they were trying to get Smedley Butler to do almost 100 years ago. And he was, I mean, I think up until about 15 years ago, he was the most decorated Marine in military history. This is not just some schmo that didn't have any rank, or just some schmo that just, served as an office, whatever in the military. No, I mean, this was a real deal Holyfield war hero. And he blew the lid on the whole thing. It's like, I'm not taking out an American president. I'm not working for the blipping Americans to take over fruit industry in South America. And here it is, we're doing it again. We're now taking out Venezuela so we can put in the puppet president that we want so we can get more oil from Venezuela. Who else? We got Javier Milei, Argentina. He's another wall worshiper. He was put in 2023. He's another Israel first fool. And now we're pretty much on the precipice of putting another wall worshiper in Venezuela. Who else we got in there? Shine Bomb in Mexico. This is another female Jewish woman that somehow, well, we know how, because the other candidates were assassinated. I think it was about 6 different candidates that were running against her got killed. And the previous president, Andres Obrador of Mexico, was saying, yeah, the United States is controlled by a Jewish mafia. So they had to get him out. And of course, it's always a humiliation ritual. It's always rubbing your nose in the brown stuff. So they took out Obrador. I'll just say Andres. They took him out as president of Mexico, and everybody that was worth a bleep that was in the running was assassinated. So then we got Shine Bomb, the female wall kisser, in there as the new president of Mexico. Is that not a humiliation ritual to anyone? And now they're trying to put Machado in there, another female, as president of Venezuela, another wall kisser, making out with the wall time. So Venezuela is one of the few countries that did not have a Rothschild bank. I mean, does that make any bells go off to anybody? Like, when did we see this with other people that wouldn't go along to get along with the Rothschild mess? Oh, man, like Saddam Hussein. Remember that? Remember Saddam Hussein? He wouldn't go along with the Rothschild mess. And then they had to go and, it's weapons of mass destruction. I don't know where they are, but we're going to go get them. We're going to get them. We got freedom fries and everything. And Gaddafi, remember him? He wasn't going to go along with the Rothschild Bank either. Both of these guys were trying to put their own country on the gold standard, and the Rothschild said no dice. Who do you think the Rothschilds are controlled by, folks? What country do you think is running this whole thing? I think it's Madagascar, maybe, that's running this whole thing. Was the president of Madagascar meeting with Trump in Mar-a-Lago for the 5th time in a year in the last 72 hours? Was it the president of Madagascar? I don't think so. Who in the world could have been? You think? No, it couldn't. I think it was probably like, I don't know, Tunisia. Maybe the president of Tunisia was meeting with Trump. I think so. Yeah, probably not, though. I think it was like the president of Taiwan was meeting with Trump. You think he's the guy that's running point on this whole thing? You think that's the connection that we keep seeing over and over again? Whenever they don't have a Rothschild bank in the country, like Gaddafi, like Saddam Hussein, you think that's the deal? Like Maduro, you think that's the common denominator here? But don't worry, because if you didn't fall for that weapon of mass distraction, I'm sure we'll be attacking Cuba in the next few days. And then once that's done, we'll go into Mexico, I guess. Because that makes perfect sense. And this is where we are, folks. This is us. This is America. We are the military-industrial complex. I mean, it's downright nauseating, isn't it? It should be. Should be nauseating to you, but maybe not. Because this is your military-industrial complex. This is what's done in the name of us. This is why countries all around the world hate us. And this is, I mean, they even had AJ pulling out this propaganda footage from months ago that was showing millions in the streets supporting the overthrow of Maduro. No, it's not like that at all. It's actually their military circling the wagons and getting their mess together for an attack. It's actually the VP saying, no, we're not stepping down. It's actually their top general saying, nope, we're not going anywhere. Return our president. That's what you got Kim Jong-un saying, return the president. That's what you got China's Xi Jinping saying, return their president. What the bleep is wrong with you is really what everybody around the world's saying. And this is what we stand for. This is America, folks. This is why other countries hate us, because we're doing empire all over again. Because we won't do what the American people actually want, which is to stop all this BS regime change, which is taking out the government and putting in the puppet president. Heck, you had this with Mossadegh. What was like 40 plus years ago? Mohammed Mossadegh, same BS, man. It just doesn't stop. So you had a candidate running on this peace platform. We're going to end all the wars. We're going to bring peace to the Middle East. We're going to bring peace between Russia and Ukraine. Bleep sakes, his New Year's Eve. This is just comical. I should have put this up there. Trump's New Year's Eve, his vow was peace. He wants to bring peace everywhere. Is that not the most blasphemous mess you've ever heard? Because it wasn't even 24 hours later, I don't believe, that we were bombing Venezuela. It wasn't 2 days later that we basically got their president in Diddy land. I mean, this could be funny if this was just like a purely satirical show. We're just doing satire. I could put up clips of Diddy with baby oil and the whole 9 yards. Oh, it's a yuck festival, but it's disgusting. What's the great Gerald Celente always say? When all else fails, they take you to war. And that's exactly what's up. All else has failed. The economy stinks. Supposedly we have all this tariff money and we're giving it away hand over fist to every third world despot that we can. Israel, Ukraine, ring a bell. Oh, and right on cue, we got putting carriers in the area of Taiwan. Yeah. So while we're bleeping away in Venezuela, it looks like Taiwan's about to get gobbled up by China. And don't think for a second there's butt kiss we're going to do about it, because we're not that stupid. We're going to urinate around with third world nations that we know we can take out, like Venezuela, Mexico, and Cuba. We're not going to bleep with real superpowers like China or Russia or even Kim Jong-un. We're not even going to flip with North Korea. That's stupid. Or are we that stupid? I don't know, man. I'm just saying it's disgusting. But this is America. This is what we stand for. Whether we do or don't, this is collectively the global image that we have now. Is, I guess, what we've always been, just a nation of empire that goes all over the world bleeping up stuff and then sending NGOs in there to make money off the death and destruction. That's really what it boils down to. It's nothing new under the sun. It's the old Solomon thing. Nothing new under the sun. It's the same old garbage that we've been doing. We're just now doing it again under the guise of a president that actually ran on peace, ran on stopping wars, and we bombed 8 countries in a year. 8 in a year. I don't think this was going to play out the way they think it's going to, because we got people all over the globe just hacked off. Spain, I think I already mentioned this. There's another female leader of Spain saying the same thing. Like, they're hacked off. They're putting their money behind Venezuela. Everybody is hacked off. And I don't know what the hell America's problem is, that they actually, it's kind of like the old thing from Scarface. You get high on your own supply. It's the sort of stupidity that you always see with like sports stars and rock stars and wrestlers or even celebrities. They start believing their own hype. They believe the PR that gets planted out there. They believe all the great words that they've been paying people to say about them. And they start believing their own BS. They start believing they're really the cock of the hen house and nobody can touch them. And I think that's the sort of idiotic mentality that America has. And believe me, I mean, we all know where this leads. This leads right to Israel. Duh. This leads right to Netanyahu. Obviously. There's no surprise here. It's like, I wonder who could be behind all this. Well, I don't know. Who just left Mar-a-Lago for the 5th blipping time in a year? I don't know. What's the one nation that we've been funding since its inception, just hand over fist, countless billions of dollars? I don't know. So we're the proxy arm of Israel. We're the actual military might of Israel. That's really what we are. We're a joke. We're like the yard dog in a junkyard. That's really what America is. But we keep breathing in the noxious fumes. We keep getting high on our own supply. We keep believing the bull jive that we're somehow, like 1950s America, just like flush with wealth, flush with everything. Right after World War II, we're the big dogs. Everybody else is just dung. But that's not the case, folks. The 50s were a long time ago. This is not the world that we live in anymore. It's a joke. Americans, and I think like the American citizen, really, we really live in some sort of weird, I can't even describe it. We live in some sort of like weird Hollywood movie where the average American person believes we're the cock of the hen house. And we actually believe like all the propaganda, lies, and just BS that we've been taught for generations now. Because let's face it, the American people of today know nothing of real war, okay? I mean, my generation, Gen X all the way, I mean, we grew up, like our big exposure to war was Desert Storm 1 and 2, which was like a couple of days. They had all the footage on CNN when CNN wasn't lying and filming on top of buildings in Atlanta and saying they were in Iraq. I mean, everybody should know what a joke CNN is from the mess from 30 plus years ago, but they don't. So, I mean, that's the exposure that most Americans have to war. And I'm not talking about people that have served and been in other theaters. I'm not saying that. I'm saying like the average person, that's it. It's like Desert Storm 1 and 2 and this just monstrosity of BS urinating in the wind that we've been doing in the Middle East for the last 40 flipping years. But most folks have no real recollection because that older generation's gone of how bleak it really is going to be. Like they think it's always just going to happen in some other place. Somewhere else it's going to happen. It's going to be rough for a couple of days and that's it. It's not going to affect the water, the food supply, the gas, nothing infrastructure. Nothing here is going to be touched. And I'm telling you, folks, we are bleeping with the wrong people here. Because globally, everybody's hacked off. And I was texting a friend of mine tonight. I was going, man, like we have no idea what the bleep we're doing, I don't think. Because this is not the 1950s, and we are not messing with Somalia right now. We're messing with a country that's clearly got a lot of backing across the globe. So if other countries want to join in and back Venezuela on this, some of these big superpowers like the aforementioned, we are not going to be in a position to fight that war. We're just not. We don't have the whatever billions and numbers of people that China can just lose at the drop of a hat and nothing happens to their country. We don't have that, folks. I'm not trying to be disparaging towards our military, but we all know, by and large, the caliber of people in the military right now. They've lowered the standards across the board. They're letting ex-cons in. They're letting felons in. They're letting all kinds of job mess in. Okay? This is not your granddaddy's military. It's just not. And I hate to break it to you, but nobody in the military, and I'm not trying to be a jerk towards those people, but you're not fighting for America. Okay? This ain't for America. Regime change in Venezuela does not have jack to do with America. Nor any of those other 8 countries that I just threw up on the screen. It doesn't have jack to do with us, folks. Nothing. It's that old Ben Garrison cartoon, I believe that's the guy that did it, that basically said, yo, if the military was fighting for us, and it showed a cartoon depiction of DC where the military was dragging out these war criminals. And I'm sorry, I can't see this any other way. This is no different than Bush and weapons of mass destruction. This is terrorism. We are now war criminals being led by a war criminal, just as we were with Bush. We're just doing it in a different theater, different hemisphere of the world. That's all. And you just got to wonder, like, how much more stupidity is the American people really going to go along with? I guess it just doesn't even matter. That I already know the answer. The American people are weak, chump sucker morons. There's nothing they won't put up with. You know, I've seen this bull jive for a couple of days. MTG is talking about everybody needs to not file their taxes or some horse manure. Come on, folks. It's sickening. It really is. It should be sickening to everybody, but you know, you got the people that are, and I hate even getting into this, like discussing other people's shows or whatever, but it's just comical at this juncture. You've got other people out there really basically pulling the Q thing out again. The Q thing, like it really isn't Maduro. Oh, look, it's really Saddam Hussein. Oh, look, Maduro's not really in jail. You see, he's smiling there because Trump's really using this and playing 5D chess or whatever the bleep it is, because he's going to use Maduro to go after the deep state because he knows where the bodies are buried with the election fraud and all this. Just complete nonsense. Just complete like wishful thinking. This is a kind of bull jive that Alex Jones had Steve Pachinik on, you know, during the Trump stolen election 8 years ago, whatever it was, 6 years ago, I guess. Steve Pachinik saying, oh, don't worry, it's all going to work out. The sealed indictments and all the Q bleep. We're still playing that mess. Right? It's just like, it's unbelievable. And at a certain point, you just deserve exactly what you're going to get. It's just so sickening. And I look at this through a lot of different lenses. And I swear to you, when I look at this sometimes, I'm like, man, I don't agree with anything the people on the left have to say. But I swear to you, man, sometimes when you hear this bull jive talking about America going for empire and all this stuff, I'm like, well, that's not a lie. That's pretty factual. That's what we've been doing for almost 100 years. I mean, what did we say? The Smedley Butler book. 1935, I think, 37, I can't recall. So this isn't our first rodeo. This is not like we've just started doing invasion for empire and regime change. I get so sick of these BS terms. Remember torture. Oh, it's not torture. It's rendition. Oh, it's totally different. Oh, it's torture. All right. Oh, we're not really just arbitrarily attacking another country. You know, we're spreading democracy. Oh, yeah. We're not actually just overthrowing your leadership and putting in our puppet in. It's a regime change. Please just stop with the BS, folks. It's just unstomachable at this point. It's nauseating. But you got the true believers on the right that just anything Trump does, it's going to be like the second coming of Jesus. I mean, I swear to you, Trump could like pull out a revolver and just start shooting people in the Oval Office, and the Trump cult people would just lap it up. Like, oh, this is part of the plan. Oh, this is real Trump. Oh, this is the kind of leadership that's strong. And you got the cult members on the right that, you know, nothing Trump does is wrong. And then you got the cult members on the left that are just like the commie fruit bat morons that are into abortion and into socialism, communism, cultural Marxism, everything I cover all the time on here. And no matter what Trump does on the other side of the coin, you know, nothing he's done is right in that regard. And then you got the people that I would suppose to be the people that like and listen to my show that have just had enough of the bull jive. The government is the problem, folks. When all else fails, they take you to war. It's not the American people. It's the same thing that we say about other countries when we say, it's not the Russian people that are bad. It's their bleeped up government. It's not the Chinese people that are bad. It's their bleeped up government. That same holds true for you. I mean, there's the fruit bats that are on both extremes, both ends of that binary opposition chain. And then you've got the people that are actually just normal people that look at this whole thing objectively and say, this is bull jive. Our government's tore up from the floor up. It needs to be completely and utterly abolished and changed. Cold hard facts time. That's just it. There's no election that's going to fix this bull jive. There's not. These people, these criminals need to go to jail. It's not going to happen. But that's what should happen if the people of this country were not getting high and living in 1950s America and, getting high on their own supply. Pretending that they're somehow this remnant of 1776. Folks, please don't give me that. Please don't give me those lies. That's not even remotely true in any realm of reality. That's the most baloney thing I've ever heard. Like when I see all this Gadsden flags, we're patriots. Please don't give me that horse pee. Please. That's just the dumbest thing imaginable. That's nothing like that is happening. Okay. It's not. It's not. I'm sorry to tell you that. It's not going to change. Nothing at all good coming from this. So when I was texting my friend earlier tonight, I was like, yeah, man, I wouldn't be surprised at any point we don't get some bombs dropped on our bleep side here, We got Russia, we got North Korea, we got China, we got smaller nations like Spain, like Chile, Brazil, Argentina. All these countries are hacked off, folks. All these countries are sick of our bull jive. They're sick of the United States playing global policemen. They're sick of the henchmen of Israel just arbitrarily taking countries out. That's really what it boils down to, folks. All right. I'm going to call it. Got to get some sleep. Send it to 3:20 in the dark side of the AM. Hopefully we won't have any more updates anytime soon. It's going to be more despotic than what we already went through, but I wouldn't be at all surprised. The great John B. Wells always says, get ready for what's to come. And I'm going to say to him, and I'm going to comment on this, some folks, you need to batten down the hatches, circle the wagons, make sure you got what you need to have for what you need. And do as much as you can for as long as you can. And focus on yourself. Don't focus on everybody else's bull muss. That's not your deal, man. Focus on yourself and your immediate little household. That's all you got to focus on. The rest of this stuff is just idle distraction. I mean, that's what this whole Maduro thing really was. Idle distraction so you don't think about Somalia and California. Or excuse me, Somalia. It's Freudian slip. Minnesota and California. So you won't think about that bull job. That's really what this is. It's like the slaves are figuring stuff out. It's like that old Bad Brains thing. The youth are getting restless. American people are vaguely even conscious and cognizant of reality. But when they are, Trump's like, oh, it's time to bomb some people. Oh, it sounds great. Only good thing this didn't go on for a couple years, I guess. But, the night is young. So a lot of shoes can drop between now and when we see each other again. You can't do everything, people. Get out there, do your part. Make a difference. I'll be seeing you sooner than later in the andAmerica age.
The andAmerica Age, a John Age project. For past shows, further info, and to comment, go to Age.com. That's ANOMICAGE.com. Till next time, thank you for listening to the andAmerica Age.